Hello everyone, welcome to Wealthy Mindset. My name is Oliver. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys are having a great day wherever you're at. And today I'm going to be covering BlackBerry, GameStop, AMC, and Nokia, and then also the Dow Jones to cover the market overall for the most part. This is for trading day February 9th. And then also quick disclaimer, like always, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional, so please do your own due diligence and research before buying and selling. Don't buy and sell based off the information I show you or the opinions I form from that information. And then I do own shares in BlackBerry, and I've been holding for 6 years, so long-term investor in general. And then before I begin, I know I stated on Sunday and Monday, which is today, that the video would come out today for the road to $180 price target predictions using graph analysis. But that video tomorrow for sure will come out 6 p.m. Eastern time on my side, based off, like I'm almost pretty much done, so they will come out. Okay, so we're going to start off with the Dow Jones, and if you've seen my previous videos, you guys know about these upward trend support lines that we have. The lines do mess up for some reason every single time I adjust them. It's not a big deal though. Essentially still support lines. And then also I could show you guys this now because I wasn't able to show it before because of the way the graph adjusts. But there's an upward trend resistance line also that's keeping us down. Like it's going to be difficult to pass it essentially once we meet up, right? And then another thing is too, so I think we're going to be going to the upside still, but it's a little bit different. I'm going to explain. But to support that, we're above the moving averages. MACD lines trying to cross over to positive, so we'll see how that goes. If it fails, that's not going to be good, but I think it might fail a little bit. So essentially what I think the play for tomorrow is we're going to come down to 31,254, bounce off this support line and start gradually going up to 31,190 something dollars, maybe $94, whatever it might be. Maybe even hit 31,400, but that's like, I don't think we'll hit 31,400 tomorrow. I think we'll just be a few dollars or $10 off from hitting it. Now, if you're overly optimistic, what I've noticed is as a new high, it jumps $100 or $200 more. I don't think that's going to happen, but if you think it's going to happen, you're essentially banking on it's going to hit 31,480 or 580. But I'm not that optimistic for tomorrow. But essentially, it'll just keep going up on this uptrend line and then not come back down. But if you're not optimistic for tomorrow and you think it's going to come down no matter what and break both support lines, because that's essentially what's going to happen, I think the utmost lowest is going to be $31,110 or $5, whatever it might be. And if it does break lower, I'll keep you guys posted, and I'll comment down below in the video, and I'll pin that comment so that way everybody can see it as the main message. If anything does go catabolic, way more lower or higher than expected. And there's that for the Dow Jones. Okay, now for BlackBerry. Overall, it's pretty good, decent shape. It's not the greatest right now because I'm kind of worried about tomorrow's open. But we have an upward trend line right here. We're above the moving average line right here. We're below the long moving average. That's a downfall. And then the MACD line is in the negative. So we haven't crossed over to positive yet. Not a big deal though. But we have a downward trend resistance line. Technically, that might keep us down. And then we have another resistance line right about here at this 1394, I believe it is, 1399. But all these meet right here pretty much at market open. So it's going to be hard to tell if we're going to open above, low, or at the same price point. But I'm going to give you guys 3 scenarios. Obviously, it's just like one of them might hit or any of them could hit. So it's not a big deal, I guess. But I'm anticipating that we're going to open up in the positive and then close off the day at 1444. I don't think we're going to go any higher than 1444. Let me see. What about? Yeah, I think 1444 was what I was anticipating. So basically just end up opening positive and then slowly climb up to 1444. Now, if you're overly optimistic, the utmost highest we're going to go is like pretty much anywhere from $14.70 to $15 exactly, maybe even $15.05. That's the utmost highest. Because of these resistance levels that are going to keep us down. So $15 right here, back test right here, back test right here, back test right here, all at $15. There's a couple points at $14.70, $14.84, and then $14.91. Those are to the upside resistance levels. But that is if we just end up spiking up. But I don't think that's going to happen necessarily tomorrow. I'll keep you posted if anything crazy happens to the upside. Now, if you're anticipating it to go sideways, I guess ultimately you could say we end up, okay, so if we go to the downside, actually, I'm going to say that first. If we go to the downside, I think ultimately we're going to end up closing at the 13 1349. What was it? Let me see. Just double check. Sorry about that. Right about here. So yeah, 1343. I think that's the lowest we'll close for tomorrow if you're expecting on the downside, but ultimately you want the most lowest possible. So the lowest possible I think is going to be 1295, 1288, 1294, somewhere around there. Maybe even 1284, but I don't think that's going to happen for tomorrow if we end up like tanking. But that would be the ultimate lowest. I don't think anything lower than that. So 1244 is pretty much like support kind of thing. 1233, and then you just end up dropping down to like 1317, and then 1308, 1307, and then 1296, and so on and so forth. But yeah, so that's the whole spiel for BlackBerry. But I think we're in pretty good shape. I think we're going to close at 1444. Worst case scenario, close at 1335, if that was the one I said earlier. But yeah, that's the worst case scenario for BlackBerry. Now for GameStop, pretty interesting stuff. I don't know how it's going to work out tomorrow, because tomorrow it's the same thing. So we have, if you haven't seen the videos before, so basically we have a downward trend resistance line that's formed ever since the ultimate high for the $483, $490. I think I saw it at $490, but ultimately it's from that and ever since then. So we have to break off from that if you want to end up going any higher. And plus you have the MACD line, or not the MACD line, the moving average just pretty much encompassing this whole entire thing. So it's going to be pretty difficult to go on the upside for the time being, but over time it'll be a lot easier, obviously. So we'll see how it goes. And MACD line right now is trying to cross over to the positive. You can see right there. It looks like it might do it. So we'll see. We have these two support lines. I'm mentioning these because, so tomorrow, if we go lower, you do not want to go lower than the $53, $54, give or take, for the most part. You do have more support on the downside though. You have support at $51.92. You have support at $49.57, so pretty much $49, and then you have support at $48.43. But you have this ultimate support line right here. I don't think you guys will get to it, but ultimately $44.88 for tomorrow. So those are the support lines to the downside. But I think you guys might be going to the upside tomorrow. So you technically have, it's not really an upward trend support line, but it's doable, right? And you have this support line that's pretty much carrying it so far, plus you're meeting at the resistance line and you're passing it. So you guys might be opening tomorrow around the same ballpark, $60. And if so, I don't see much holding you guys down except these specific resistance lines. So the resistance lines you guys have right now, I believe is just pretty much, you guys might shoot up to $68.50. So open pretty much at the $60 mark, shoot up to $68.50, and then, actually no, sorry about that, not $68.50, right about here, $65.82, then $68.50. Do you have anything else just in case? Yeah, okay, yeah, so yeah, about 64, 65, 68, and then ultimately this is going to be hard to pass. I don't think you guys are going to pass this tomorrow. $74.25. So if you guys pass that, then you guys have pretty much good times ahead. You guys are going to get knocked down by this resistance line, but at least you guys are like forming an upward trend support line. So that would be good. So I'll let you guys know if you guys do pass 70, like I'll let you know what's the next levels after you guys pass $75 essentially. But I think it's going to be super difficult, especially even $70 is going to be difficult. So we'll see. But that was the downside. That's the upside. So again, you guys are passing this downward resistance line, but this one's going to be the ultimate one that's you guys going to have to pass if you guys want to get back to the short squeeze play. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, now for AMC. You guys have a downward trend resistance line dating back from December 2016, January 2017. Back tested right here. You guys did pass it here, like with the spike of volume and everything, which was awesome. But it got shot down by the moving average right here. If you can see, if I can zoom in closer. And then you guys are here right now at the moment. Now, hopefully you guys reverse back up to the upside and then pass through this resistance line. Otherwise, what would happen is, obviously, just to show you guys, just in case, you would shoot up and then back test and come back down. I don't know why that line drew like that, but either way. So there's that. But MACD line is still in the positive, so there is still hope, so that's good. I think you guys are in good shape for tomorrow for sure, at least, where you guys are forming an upward trend support line at the moment. Plus, at the same time, there was a downward trend resistance line that was right about here coming down, and you guys back tested on that too. And then at the same time, you guys are above the moving average, the short moving average, and you guys created a double. You guys double bounced on that, so that was good. And the MACD line again is still positive. So these are all good signs. The only thing is there's 3 things that I'm worried about. So there's this downward trend resistance line right here. You guys are meeting up right here. So by pre-market, you'll know if this was actually a downward trend resistance line that's keeping you guys down, or if you'll be in good shape and you're going to open above it. So we'll see. And then the other one I'm worried about is the moving average, long moving average. I think by the time it gets here, it might knock you guys down towards the end of the day. Hopefully not, or keep you guys down, and hopefully not again. But then this main one right here. So dating back from January 27th, it comes all the way down here. Ultimately, you guys need to pass this. This is the main one that you guys need to pass, the January 27th down trend line, resistance trend line, right? So what is the play for tomorrow? There's obviously, it's pretty hard to call. Again, nobody knows for sure. If anybody would know, they'd be rich for the most part. So again, form your own opinion. But essentially what it is you're gonna meet a little bit of resistance at 634, 633. If you're optimistic and you think you're gonna pass that, essentially you're banking on to at least hit 652. Then the next level you're looking at 672. I did measure it earlier. It was 674, 675. I think the most high, the highest peak you guys gonna meet tomorrow is 674, 675. I don't think any higher. But if you're optimistic completely, I think the utmost max is going to be $7.05 last time I measured it. But you have a lot of resistance / consolidating levels at 684, 690, and 693. I think it was also 691. Yeah, 691 and all that stuff. So you got a lot of consolidation periods right here. So we'll see how it goes. It was a bunch here too. 660s, 686, so on and so forth, etc., etc. So that's to the upside. Again, I personally think the highest will be for tomorrow 675, 674, if it does happen. But ultimately, one concern is if you guys open up to 633, go up here, get shot down by the moving average, and then break through this support line and start heading down. But if that does happen, you guys will be consolidating back at this spot right here. So like 611, 607, 608, back and forth. Maybe even close off the day at 617, 618 again, right? So that's the 2 scenarios to the upside and / breaking through. Now, if you think it's not going to open in the positive, even if it does, it could start bouncing down. So essentially what you want to know is the support lines right here. So the support lines for tomorrow, if you guys do break down, you could ultimately, I think even if you do break down, you're just pretty much going to consolidate. I think you guys are in good shape where I don't think anything drastic is going to happen tomorrow. So essentially consolidate, and the lowest would be at $6 for the most part, even $5.99. Yeah, so for the support to the downside, last time I measured was 581. That was the most lowest I could see. Obviously you could go lower, so 575 it looks like you could even go to that level, but I don't see that happening. If it breaks down lower than 574, I'll keep you guys posted. But for the most part, I think worst case scenario, you guys are going to consolidate and go between these levels, maybe even 595, worst case scenario in terms of consolidation period. But I guess you did drop down to 575 within that day. So anything is possible. But I think one of these 2 scenarios are most likely. So either go to the upside and be capped at these levels, or go to the upside and get shot down and ultimately close at the same level for within the day in consolidation period. But we'll see. Okay, now for Nokia, again, the double down resistance lines that formed ever since February of 2001, and then last time you guys bounced off them and back and forth was around the 2008, 2010. But you guys been down from this resistance line, the bottom one first, for a bunch of times. So back tested, so on and so forth. False breakout right here. You guys back tested around July, August of 2020. And then you guys are here right now at the moment, creating an upward trend support line. So hopefully you guys end up back testing right about here. Just FYI, it's ultimately at the $5 mark last time I measured it, but it's showing as if it's roughly, by the time you guys meet, it's going to be 475, give or take. But let's get closer with the 5-day moving average, I believe. Or is it the month? One sec. Yeah, let's just do the month. Okay, so you guys have a downward trend resistance line right here that formed, so that's not really a good sign. And you have another downward trend resistance line right here. So both are pretty much important for tomorrow. You got really good forces, guys, pushing you guys down. Hopefully you guys break through it, because if you guys break through them, that will put you in really good shape. That way, at least you could start reversing to the upside. I think that's what could happen. So potentially that could happen for tomorrow. But if you do end up going down, I don't think you guys will get shot down that much. Ultimately, the first level you guys are going to go down to would be the 422, 421, because it's like right about here. If I could get it right, where was it? Right about there. So there's a bunch of back tests here, but it doesn't have to be just a resistance line. It could be support line. So there's that. And then if worst case scenario, you guys might break, where was it? Right about here, I think. It was at 418. So let's see if I can zoom in to show you guys exactly. Right about there. So back test right here, back test right here in terms of resistance, back test in terms of support, pretty much rode off right about here. So 418 would be a good support level, but the problem is I think you guys would ultimately break that for tomorrow if that's the case, if you end up heading down, because these two resistance lines are pretty much combined. Like, I think it would be too much to the downside. So ultimately, I think you guys are going to probably consolidate around or end up closing at the day at 415. Hopefully end up bouncing actually. If best case scenario to the downside, you guys hit 415, like consolidate a little bit and bounce off and go back up to at least 418, 417 and close off the day. Now, but if you do break up to the upside, which would be awesome, and break through the resistance levels, ultimately the first point you have to break for the most part is obviously 426, but let's disregard that part. You need to break 430 just to make sure. One sec. Yeah, 430 first, and then 438 is the next level. But let me just double check if there's another level before 438. 433, and then 436, and then 438, 439. I don't think you guys are going to break any higher than that, to be honest. Yeah, I think you guys, if anything, tomorrow you guys are probably pretty much going to be capped at 439 for the most part tomorrow. If you guys do end up going higher than 439, I'll keep you guys posted. Again, in the comments down below, and I'll pin that comment so that way you guys can see it and see the update. But that's pretty much it. Thanks again for the awesome support, guys. Really appreciate it. If you guys did like the video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks in advance. Really helps the channel. If you guys have any questions, comment down below. I'll answer them as quick as possible. And then if you do like videos in terms of like finance, stocks, mortgages, credit scores, and then passive income, consider subscribing. And thanks again. Really appreciate it. See you guys in the next video. Peace.